The world was spinning when Amina awoke. Her wrists were bound with soft silken rope, her head aching with a dull pulse behind her eyes. She was no longer in Mecca's open courtyards, nor in the tunnels. The air carried the scent of oud, earth, and something older, like sealed scrolls and ancient oil. The walls were engraved with countless names and flowing calligraphy, names she recognized from scripture: Abraham, Moses, Isa, Muhammad, and others. Lost to most records, she was somewhere beneath it all, deeper than she thought. A domed chamber surrounded her, immense, candlelit, and utterly silent. And then there were names she didn't recognize at all. "Welcome, Dr. El-Tayeb." The voice came from above. 7 robed figures stood on a marble balcony encircling the chamber. Faces veiled, the insignia of the black veil stitched in gold on their chests. In their hesitation, fractures, they were not united. But something was wrong. Amina noticed it in their posture. "You hold truths that were never meant to be carried alone," one of them said. "And yet, you have carried them well." Another voice, harder. "You defied sacred boundaries, desecrated holy ground. Do you expect absolution?" Amina stood unflinching. "I don't need absolution, I need answers." One figure raised their hand. "Then you will undergo the trial of truth. The same rite our founders endured when the eye was first hidden." Without waiting for her consent, the chamber darkened and the floor beneath her gave way. She fell, not in body, but in soul. Suddenly she was standing not in stone, but in memory, each one with a scroll, extending it to humanity only to have it ripped, rewritten, rebranded. Before her, a battlefield, blood, swords, banners, bearing the names of God and many tongues fighting, not enemies, but each other weeping, not with emotion but, not in grandeur, but in sorrow. She saw temples become fortresses, messages twisted into laws, rituals calcified into control. And then she saw the eye, locked inside the Kaaba's heart. And beside it Yusuf, battered still alive, whispering, "Don't believe what they show you. Ask what they're hiding." The vision shifted. Even if it means becoming the enemy of faith. She stood in the Kaaba, the true Kaaba, as it once was. She trembled, not black-draped or gold-laced. It was bare, made of an adorned stone, and at its center, a glowing well. The source, there. Samira stood, Layla stood, Yusuf stood, and so did someone she couldn't see, clearly a woman veiled in firelight, mirroring Amina's movements. The veiled woman spoke with her voice. "Are you willing to break the silence, knowing it may never be repaired? And I have heard enough lies in my lifetime. Are you willing to lose your name, your people, your purpose? Are you willing to become the enemy of the lie?" Amina's chest burned, and then she whispered, "Yes." She awoke gasping on the cold marble floor of the chamber. The 7 figures were still there, but now only 5 remained. One had removed his veil. An older man, eyes glistening with tears. "All it needs is a satellite connection. The eye has spoken through you," he said. He turned to the others. "The truth must rise, even if it burns us." A commotion erupted among them. 2 others followed him. The rest shouted. 1 fled. The sect was unraveling before her eyes. Others demanding revelation. The call to Fajr was moments away. From this height, the Kaaba glowed like a black star, pulling the prayers of millions toward it. From the shadows emerged Yusuf, leaning on a cane, his side bandaged but his eyes alight. "Told you I wasn't done yet." Amina ran to him, speechless. He placed something in her hand. Everything: the scrolls, the decoded prophecies, the eyes, energy frequencies. I uploaded it, all before we went underground. Amina stared at it. "The truth is yours now, Amina. You saw what it can do, what it means." Behind her, the remaining members of the Black Veil argued, some trying to preserve the centuries-old silence. Amina looked down at the drive. "Then it's time," she said softly, "to let the silence speak." They climbed the final steps to the rooftop of an abandoned Ottoman watchtower on the edge of Mecca's old quarter. Newsrooms froze. Mosques, synagogues, churches, and temples stared at flickering screens. Amina's hands trembled slightly, not from fear, but from gravity, and the truth it protected was never meant to be buried. The drive was in her pocket. The portable satellite uplink hummed beside her. Yusuf sat beside the ancient parapet, still weak, but alert. His face carried peace, and something else, a distant sorrow. Behind them, Layla approached, hood drawn low. Amina tensed, but didn't raise the pistol slung across her chest. Layla looked unarmed, defeated, and above all, changed. "I thought I was protecting it," Layla said softly. "But all I was protecting was power." Amina nodded. "We were all raised in cages. You just had the keys earlier than I did." Layla stepped forward and placed a small object on the stone wall. Its black surface was dim now, no longer pulsing as if its work was complete. "Finish it," Layla whispered. "Let the world see what we were never allowed to." The transmission went live. The signal beamed into orbit, then back down again. Satellite towers picked it up across the world. Phones buzzed. On every device, a woman's voice rang out Amina's voice. 14 centuries ago, the Kaaba became a symbol of unity, but before it was a symbol, it was a seal. The screen split showing decrypted fragments of the original manuscript. 3D scans of the hidden vault. Scrolls, ritual blueprints, ancient maps, and energy readings from the Eye of Abraham. Then, images from the stone's visions. Prophets, temples, unity shattered by greed, names changed. Books read, religion not born of contradiction but corrupted by it. And finally, a whisper. The truth was never meant to divide us. It was meant to remind us that we were one. The world fractured in real time. In Istanbul, clerics stormed out of mosques, some weeping, some screaming heresy. In Cairo, protesters clashed in Tahrir Square beneath banners of no more lies. In Jerusalem, rabbis and imams convened behind closed doors. In Rome, church bells rang out an hour too early. And in Mecca, silence. The black veil collapsed overnight. Some fled, some confessed, others took their own lives. Back on the rooftop, Amina stood facing the dawn. Her voice had stopped. The transmission was complete. The world would never be the same. Yusuf, smiling faintly through his pain, whispered, "You did it," because she knew something else. This wasn't the end. It was a wound torn open. Heal and gore toto, collapse would come next. Layla touched her shoulder. What now? Now, I disappear.